So, hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. So, today we are doing the reading about where things are moving. So, we will look at the conditions that may be underlying your situation and what matters most right now. And also, let's take a look at how things will unfold. So, choose your group, and I will meet you at your reading. So hello to those who chose group number 1. And here we have the first position. We see 3 cards which are showing the conditions that are shaping your situation. So the direction that things are already leaning towards, even if nothing visible has changed yet. So first we have the Sun card. So there has been some clarity or some truth, even warmth. Something was illuminated, perhaps a situation or even a relationship or your own role in the relationship. So this is about seeing things as they are. So it's a kind of realization and the confusion is gone. So there are no more illusions and no need to prove anything. And with the balsamic moon, which says a time for healing, this is about the ending of a cycle. This is like the balsamic moon is this final phase of the lunar cycle occurring just before the new moon. So this is the moment when the cycle has already ended, but the new one hasn't started yet. So it's not really a phase of action. As well as the sun also isn't really a phase of action. It's about realization. And with the balsamic moon, it's about digesting. So now you may experience a need for solitude, or you may even feel very much tired, or maybe you have a sense that something is over without a clear new step. So it's a kind of closure in process. So this is like a situation where you need to release things and emotionally digest what was revealed. And then we have the marriage card from the Dreams card, and this is not necessarily truly speaking about a marriage, even though we see a figure that like they just got married, and we have the ring at the bottom. And we also see this group that gathered to watch the newlyweds. So this is about union, and it can speak about a conscious agreement. Maybe you are aligning with your past and your future, with yourself and the other. It can also, of course, be about a relationship. Maybe something has become clear. Maybe you're redefining a relationship. Maybe you're committing to a role, or you're taking a responsibility for something that you can no longer avoid. So it can be like an inner contract. So now this is about finally bringing a conclusion to something and also aligning with what is true for you. And then we have the second position, which is about what needs attention. So first we have 5 of Swords. So this is about a situation where discussions can turn into competition or defensiveness and tension. So what needs attention is perhaps recognizing when you are trying to explain yourself too much or trying to win, or perhaps now it's time to step back, which can be more effective than pushing your point. And also you may just literally feel that someone just stabbed you in the back. And so this shows a kind of tension between 2 people. It can be a relationship dynamic. So it's a quite of battle and war like card. So pay attention to how you communicate and to your own defenses, and of course what other people may want to inflict on you. And then with the full moon in Virgo, perhaps you're focusing too much on mistakes and details, or you're being too analytic or critical. So perhaps also, of course, there is this need to prove yourself, and the advice would be to just stop adjusting and accept that what you've already done is sufficient. So it's a kind of message of standards. So don't overcorrect, don't be a perfectionist, and reflect and refine without criticism regarding yourself or the others. And then, of course, we have the fan card. With the fan card, we see like two women with fans. This is all about like keeping composure in front of others. So it's not about reacting openly or confronting others or emotions directly. It's about calm and polite distance. So you don't need to show everything. It's about maintaining some kind of dignity and control. This seems to be the smarter move. And it shows that you need to step out of any power struggles and not escalate emotionally. So it's kind of keeping yourself in check and don't react too much. So the attention is not to do more, but to handle the situation with kind of discernment. And it seems that attention is needed around conflict and criticism. So less explaining, less correcting, and less reacting. And then we have the third position, which is all about how things progress, how they are going to develop. And we see beautiful developments, in fact, quite surprising. We have the Knight of Wands saying that things will progress quickly. So this is like a burst of action and a movement, or perhaps a decision that will push the situation forward. So it's about taking initiative. So you can expect something to start or something to suddenly shift. And also this clarity that we saw in the sun is coming forward. And with the new moon in Capricorn, we see a beginning of a new cycle saying your hard work is paying off. So definitely you're going to be rewarded for your effort and consistency. And the situation is definitely advancing and you are really being recognized and paid for your efforts. So you can expect very beautiful and practical results in your work and also in your relationships and commitments. And with the amazement card that we see, it's really about surprises. We can see this person doing a very interesting position on the table, almost like impossible position. So things are going to shift in a way that you never expected. You may not even believe it, but the success is coming in a very beautiful and unpredictable way. And so this is like being prepared and being flexible. So expect the unexpected and expect beautiful new opportunities and a beautiful progress, even though you may not really know what it may entail just yet. So I hope this resonated and I wish you good luck. And hello to those who chose group number 2. So we have the first position of our reading, which shows us the underlying energy and the tone. So what is happening in your situation? And the first card that we see is Nine of Swords. So this talks about mental pressure and a lot of stress, even sleepless nights, and also feeling very much secluded and alone. So perhaps you have been dealing with a situation that has taken a really big toll on you, and it has been very stressful. So a lot of worries have been building over time, perhaps a lot of overthinking and anticipating problems, and your mind just hasn't been able to rest. But then we have the full moon in Libra, a win-win outcome. This is a very beautiful card because it brings a very balancing influence and showing that the situation is moving toward resolution, even if it doesn't feel that way yet. So there will be a kind of agreement or mutually acceptable solution, or just a winning. So you're definitely winning whatever is happening. It is bringing you a win, and you will not feel so stuck and overwhelmed as perhaps you have been. And then we have the Sculptor card. So you are shaping your reality and you are like adjusting and refining your work. And perhaps also you have been working on this situation for a while, and now things are finally taking a clear form and shape. So you can be very much reassured that you don't need to worry as much, and that the situation is already forming into a beautiful and very active and supportive solution for you. And then we have the second position, which is about what needs attention. So what you should focus on in this moment. And we have Two of Pentacles. So perhaps there are many things that are in motion, a lot of responsibilities, and you have to prioritize. There may also be a lot of emotional demands or practical tasks that you are occupied with. So usually this card is also called a card of change. So you need to constantly adapt. So you are managing, but you're also stretching yourself thin. Perhaps something needs to be simplified, but in any case, this card is saying that you can absolutely manage and juggle all the responsibilities. So this figure that we see in the Two of Pentacles is definitely not dropping the pentacles. So you can definitely manage everything that is happening, so you can trust yourself. And then we have two quite, let's say, in a way, heavy cards. We have the South Node, don't let your past hold you back, and the Clock card, which is also about maybe related to the past in a way, in the sense that time is of the essence. So what needs attention is perhaps the tendency to fall back on what's familiar, perhaps an old role, an old coping strategy, or just assuming obligations because you're used to them. Maybe you are repeating a way of handling things. And then this can also then bring delays or pressure around time. Or you perhaps just feel that you're out of sync. So something has been going on for a long time, this also says, and it's time to change the rhythm or to stop waiting. And so something cannot stay in this holding pattern forever. So a certain kind of decision or clarity is needed, and you need to perhaps indeed drop one ball and just decide that you will no longer be stuck in this situation. And now we have the third position, which is about how things will unfold, how they will progress. And we see this beautiful completion and achievement in this situation. So whatever you were worried about, perhaps literally about the outcome of a certain situation, you are going to win and be extremely honored, as we see in the honors card, and satisfied. So the World card, of course, is all about completion and integration and something reaching a fuller form and a cycle that closes. So you are definitely realizing something, finalizing something, and arriving somewhere after a lot of effort. So all the pieces are coming together. And then, of course, with the honors cards, literally you are going to be honored, and we see this agreement, the shaking of the hands and celebration. So you're definitely going to be the winner or completing something in a very successful way. And with the mutable moon, which says nothing is yet set in stone, this can mean two things. It means that you are now accepting that things are in progress. So mutable moon is the moon in mutable signs. Mutable signs are Pisces, Gemini, Sagittarius, and Virgo. So they are the signs that are in fact closing a cycle as well. They are like dispersing the energy. So it's about releasing the old cycle. And also it can say that whatever happens, whatever integration you're experiencing, it is still demanding from you to be flexible, and it's still a kind of showing that a new direction is opening, and you may not know yet what this direction may be. So this progress will not lock you into one outcome. It will allow room to adapt and to continue forward in a very surprising way that you can still decide on. So definitely a recognition is coming, validation and acknowledgement, and kind of appreciation and approval, and without rigidity. So you will be able to decide what to do with this situation. And again, with the mutable moon, this moon is also about releasing the old energy, as all mutable signs are doing. So, congratulations, you have won. I wish you the best of luck. And hello to those who chose group number 3. So we have the first position of the cards, which is all about the underlying energy of your situation. So the tone of your situation. And the first card that we see is 4 of Cups, which is about like low motivation and kind of disengagement. So there may be a kind of sense of dissatisfaction or just like this feeling, I'm over this, and your interest has just dropped. Perhaps a kind of indifference or even procrastination or just withdrawing from the situation that no longer excites you. With the full moon in Leo that we see, we have the don't let pride get in your way message. This adds a kind of ego sensitivity to the situation. Perhaps you are too proud to admit that you feel disappointed, that you feel defeated. Perhaps you are too proud to ask for something different. Or perhaps you are just withdrawing and you're too proud to re-engage. So maybe you are stuck in this mode of, I'm fine, I don't need anything, I don't need you. But in fact, you are deeply unsatisfied. So you are creating perhaps an emotional distance to protect your self-esteem. And with the Monk's card that we see, this again reinforces the idea of withdrawal. And so you have stepped back to reassess your priorities or your values, and you're taking like a pause from external engagement. And you may indeed need some quiet and space to actually reflect and think what you want. So this is a kind of emotional pause and a kind of guarded pride and intentional withdrawal. So this situation calls for honesty about your dissatisfaction and allowing yourself to be very clear about your feelings and not just withdraw or just pretend like everything is fine out of your pride and your, ego. So also it may mean that you need a certain kind of recognition for your efforts and you may feel you're not getting it. And then we have the second position, which is about what needs attention. So what you need to give your energy to. And we have the 3 of Wands. So this is kind of opposite of the previous position. It's about outward orientation. We see this figure holding this like a pearl in their hands and looking into the horizon, into the path that is opening. So perhaps you already know what you want or where you're headed, but you need to really take a look and see into the future and evaluate what you want from your path that is opening. So don't wait too long and just perhaps, make a step forward with your plans. Perhaps reach out or expand or consider some real options. And then we have the full moon in Pisces. So balance spirituality and practicality. So you need to ground your plans into action. So full moon in Pisces also entails the Virgo, because it's the phase where sun and moon are actually in opposition. So if we have Pisces, we also have Virgo, which is all about practical steps. So this is not just about remaining in your inner world in contemplation, but translating this into something concrete. So you need an inspiration, which you probably possess in great deal, but now you need to also make some real world steps. And then with the Banquet card that we see here, like a feast, like people eating and joining together in a kind of party. This is about participation and exchange. So what needs attention is being part of the flow rather than observing from the sidelines. So new opportunities may come through gatherings and social contacts and collaboration. So you need to show up. So don't isolate yourself. because connections and cooperation could move, in fact, things forward. So we had a very strong cards of disengagement in the previous position, and now attention is needed on engagement. So you don't need to scatter your energy or lose your energy, but you need to act on one inspiration, on one true call that you are receiving, perhaps internally, and make some practical steps and participate, even literally go and mingle with people, maybe go to a kind of party, or just participate in some events. So this will, in fact, usher in new and fresh energy. And then we have the final position, which is about how things develop, how things progress. And we have a beautiful development here. We have 9 of Cups. So it shows that progress moves toward satisfaction and fulfillment. So you're going to say, this works for me. So you're going to feel very content with the outcome, and your wishes and expectations or hopes are going to be met. So you're getting what you wanted. And with the full moon in Aries, we have the fiery climax that approaches. So this is going to be a very decisive moment, an action or expression that will move things very clearly, perhaps a conversation or decision or some bold move that will settle matters very quickly. So just allow yourself to do this step and allow things to peak and resolve through decisive action. And then we have the tattoos card. This is about lasting impact. So whatever is going to happen, it is going to leave a mark, something enduring, like a tattoo. So whatever you choose now may perhaps shape your identity or reputation or how you are seen by other people. And we also had that 3 of Wands in the previous position, which is also about long-term success. So you are moving into something that will be lasting. So what you will decide now or accept now, it will stick and it will be extremely satisfying for you. So you will have very beautiful results. So allow yourself to step out of this perhaps a kind of disengaged and enclosed zone, participate, connect with people, show some willingness to interact, and it will definitely bring a very satisfying result for you. I hope this resonated, and I wish you good luck.